Hello, Diane Cox back. I've just done that astrology video on the planet, some of the big planetary changes of the year. And I've now got to my lovely Mythic Tarot deck, and we're going to do just a card a month, okay? I've already done a bit of a shuffle, but then I had to let Rufus out of the room, so I'm back now. And what I wanted to say was, just going into the heart center. This reading is done with real love and an intent of guidance and healing for those people who are interested and need a little bit of want a little bit of interest and insight that flows from all of our spiritual entourage. We, as you know, are all connected, being a spark of the divine. So just looking at 2025, a card for each month, just to give us a little bit of insight. Oh, there's one coming out already for January. Okay. And okay, let's just do it as they come up. Right, so as the first one has fallen out, I shall start with that. So the first card for January 2025 is the Ten of Swords. Okay, so as we have that, as you know, the Ten of Swords, the ending, Orestes on the floor is feeling completely exhausted, doesn't care if he lives or dies, he can't cope with the stress anymore, and basically the Furies with the snakes for their hair, and Athena basically are come to an agreement that Orestes can live, and he doesn't know that they've said that he's won his life and his case. The dawn's in the background. January, endings, it's over, it's an end of a cycle, and it really is regarding the astrology. If you've seen that video, you'll know. Okay, so the end of a cycle, you might be feeling kind of tired and just drawn and need to rest. You might be feeling poorly or ill or depleted. So I would say for January, get your energy up, do what makes you feel well, acknowledge the end of things, release with love, and welcome the new dawn. Okay, February, it's going to be deep. It's going to be deep. Look at the 2025 already. February, okay, the moon. As we know, the moon is all about the phases, the changes, the ever-present kind of light of the sun reflecting off the moon. It's about reflection. It's reflecting on us. It's reflecting on what we find fearful, what comes up in our consciousness for healing, what kind of spooks us when we're feeling in a certain place. It's also the moon, it's Cancer, okay? The sign of Cancer, the crab. It's nurturing. Nurture yourself, listen to yourself, hear your intuition, feel your wisdom. Okay, in this card you've got, the three phases of the moon that I would see as the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And even though, that's a more feminine take, it's still the phases of where we're at. So consider where you're at. It's time to face any fears, face something that you've been putting off. It's time to trust in your intuition and go forward and do what you feel like you're drawn to, okay? And March, Three of Pentacles, all right? So we've got, remember what you're skilled at, remember what you're gifted at. Look at what people want from you, look at what people admire about you, and allow it to speak to you. Allow yourself to go, oh yeah, people often say this about me, and everyone has it. People will go, oh, she's so good at this, or oh, have you ever tried her, samosa, she's brilliant at samosas, or have you ever kind of, let me have a think now, ever seen her photographic collection? You ever sat down and spoken to this person about their life experience? It's so interesting. It's the Three of Pentacles, it's Money, it's earth, it's being recognized for what you're good at. And in order to be recognized, you need to recognize it in yourself. Okay, so don't do yourself out, don't talk yourself down. The Three of Pentacles, so yeah, the Three of Pentacles in March. Look at the vines, things are growing, it's springtime, for me it's the new year, and it's all about growing and recognizing the growth. Okay, April. Okay, April, the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands here, obviously you've got Jason getting all his friends around him because he's going on a trip. This is a card of building, planning in this deck. You know, I know in the Rider-Waite it's a card of, no, it's kind of the same stuff. It's a planning. What are you planning for? It's a, obviously with Jason, he's going off in the background. He's got the ship. He's talking about what he needs to do. He's hoping for an adventure, a celebration. He's going to get the golden fleece. But here, it's all still ahead of him, in front of him. And it's that planning phase. So think about what you're planning. In May, we have Eight of Pentacles, and this is like, keep on it. Don't stop developing. Don't stop what you're doing. You might not feel like you're quite getting the acknowledgement, the recognition, or the reward for what you're doing. But the Eight of Pentacles is like, just keep refining. You look at all the coins underneath that he's been working on. This is Daedalus, so kind of he's been working, he's just refining his skills, he's getting better and better at what he's doing. So don't kind of worry about what other people are doing, or, you know, you might not quite be getting the reward. Just keep plugging away. Keep plugging away in May, okay? And then June, the Page of Cups, okay, a card of emotion, love, creativity. This is Narcissus falling in love with his own reflection. But the Page of Cups is pages are about new ideas, new beginnings of, it could be like, I could say, it could be new love. It's a new idea of relationship. It's a new idea on a creative project. Okay, it's something coming that is beautiful and worthwhile. It could be a new emotional wave, a new understanding of your emotions and how you're dealing with your emotions. Okay. The Page of Cups. Let me get my circle a little bit sorted here. It's all a bit out of whack. I'll put a picture of this at the end of the reading. Okay. So yeah, Page of Cups for June. Very nice. And then July we have, the Page of Pentacles. So it's all a lot of new stuff. That really goes in with the astrology. Even though the pages, it is still kind of, I always think with pages it's a naivety, but when you've got these big planetary changes, there is a sudden kind of shift and a new recognition. And it is naive, it's new, it's kind of unknown, and therefore you've got the Page of Cups with the emotions, love, the water, which is interesting, isn't it, regarding, the change into fire. And here you've got the Page of Pentacles, which is new ideas regarding business, health, what do you want to do with your body, new ideas regarding, look at the way he's like cherishing it. He's so kind of, he's so chuffed with his germination, that's the word. It's like a germinating feeling, a lovely kind of, just go with it, just look at the fields in the background. It's kind of verdant, it's fertile, there's all that growth going on. So we're talking about July being a month of growth and holding on to your dreams, holding on to your ideas and allowing them to grow and be fertilized and nourished. That's for July. Very nice, 2 pages next to each other. August. Okay, in August we're like 7 of Cups. Don't be disillusioned. Obviously, this is the Aphrodite and Psyche story, and Aphrodite's sending her off to basically go into the underworld because she has betrayed the trust of Eros and lost Eros, and she's gone and begged Aphrodite to give her some initiation journeys to do, some challenges in order to win Eros back. And this is where Aphrodite is giving her these trials. In the Rider-Waite pack, the Seven of Cups is more about illusions, and not being distracted from what you want. There's too much choice, and it can be a little bit of a card of disillusionment. I suppose Psyche is disillusioned here because she thinks she's lost Eros, but Aphrodite, the goddess Aphrodite, is saying, well, actually, I can say that disillusionment because Psyche is not sure if she's going to obviously survive the tests that Aphrodite is setting her. Anyway, August, you may feel tested. You may feel like you've got to do stuff that you don't really want to do, but you realise it's really important if you want to go forward. There could be tests at work, in your relationships. It could be whatever you do for your pleasure. It could be an opportunity. It could be an expansion. Okay, it could feel like something that isn't going to be pleasant, but once you get to the other side of it, you'll realise you're a whole different person, which is interesting because this July is when all those retrogrades are going on. So it's interesting to go back when you think about the retrogrades in July and going back and just checking on things and reviewing ideas and dreams and stuff that you may have had. And then August is about just, if tests come along, it's okay. Just do them to your best ability. I know it's easy to say, don't get too hung up on, oh, it's so unfair, or why me, or whatever. It's like, well, it is me. It's my karma. It's my path. This is where I've ended up. Nothing is permanent, so just do it and see what it happens. There's no such thing as failure. There's only learning curves. Okay, so that's August. September. Oh, September. It's going to be hard, is it? Or is it? No. Eight of Swords. What I really like about the Eight of Swords is, again, you've got Orestes this time between Apollo and the Furies, and basically one of them's telling him that he'll be cursed if he doesn't kill his mother, and the other are saying he'll be cursed if he does kill his mother. It's feeling between a rock and a hard place. It's feeling like you haven't got much choice, which is very interesting after you've got that, where you've got these tests and challenges that you've just got to get on with, okay? So this is maybe September is like, okay, you've got some difficulties here. You might have some conflict. You've got two opposing sides coming at you, and in the middle you just feel like you want to put your hands over your ears and your hands over your eyes and just go and stick your head in a hole. Don't do that. The quicker that the quicker that you accept the challenges of whatever the Eight of Swords has brought you, the quicker you just go, oh, okay, this is not what I wanted. But life is like that, isn't it? It's not all about, the roses and the kittens and the ice cream. It's about, growth and the karma that we're neutralizing, okay? And we're wanting to make good karma for the days forward. So, where am I? September, October. Oh, lovely. October, you've got the challenge, the conflict behind you. And here is the mighty Atalanta. Lovely. Warrior. Look at that. With her big sword of truth and justice. Feeling strong, powerful. Feeling mentally kind of, alert. You've got the information that you need. You feel like there's a clarity here. There's like, here I am, Ace of Swords. It's like forward with your thoughts, and brave, and speaking your mind and speaking your truth and communicating clearly and strongly and powerfully It's the warrioress, okay? Feeling like all full of steel. Steel. It's lovely. So that's interesting for October. Feeling like, you know, brave, powerful. What do we have for November? Oh, bring November on. How lovely. We have Temperance, the beautiful goddess of harmony and balance. That goddess that brings the communications between the gods and the mortals, the bridge between heaven and earth, the balance between the sun and the moon, and the soul and the human that lies within. This beautiful goddess of the rainbow, Iris, and just feeling, you know, that calmness of being, that gentleness and ease that you're so yeah, like I say, just feel in balance, and you don't rile, you don't get annoyed, you just kind of let everything roll off. What is it, like water off a duck's back? A lovely card for November, Temperance. Okay, let's make a bit more room here. Let's see, what does December bring? And then, okay, December brings Seven of Pentacles. Okay, well, I tell you what I quite like about this for the year. There's the moon, and then there's Temperance as the major arcana. That's quite interesting, isn't it? The moon and Temperance, and then the Seven of Pentacles. So this is, again, Daedalus. He's being asked by the Queen to... Oh, God, do I have to tell this story? Oh, dear. Anyway, the Queen wants something built by Daedalus. I won't go into it. It's nearly New Year's Eve, you know. You don't want to start your new year thinking about that. So she's asking Daedalus to build her something behind the king's back, okay? And the king has been very kind to Daedalus, and when Daedalus had to do a runner from where he lived because he did something very naughty, the king gave him a chance, a second chance, and allowed Daedalus to build up his business and his reputation all over again. So Daedalus is very loyal to the king, but then the queen comes along and asks him a favour to build this contraption for her. And so, very interestingly, it's a little bit like this, feeling between a rock and a hard place. Not quite as bad as the Eight of Swords, because of course the Eight of Swords, it's about mental worry, anguish. And again, I should say it's a very important thing to understand. You know, it's a mental kind of process often. And, you know, we can always get help, and we can always turn to people in order to get support. So, and the Seven of Pentacles is also him feeling compromised. He doesn't really want to do this for the Queen, but she is the Queen. And, you know, if he refuses, then he could get into trouble for not supporting the Queen, but he doesn't want to go behind the king's back. So what we're looking at for December, feeling compromised, feeling like you're trying to please everyone but not yourself, feeling like there's too much, someone might have too much influence over you, you don't feel very kind of light or free or liberated, you're feeling a little bit of a burden on your shoulders. Not surprising for December, is it? And it's like, oh, you know, wow, he does actually make the contraption for the Queen and feels a little bit guilty about it. And yeah, and then the king finds out, and then poor old Daedalus. But, you know, he's just trying to do the right thing. And I think there's quite a message there, isn't it? When you're kind of just trying to do the right thing, but you just can't please everybody. It's like you can't do the right thing, you can't please everybody by doing that. And it's very, very difficult to, you know, kind of, you can't please everybody. So in the end, what you've got to do is please yourself, isn't it? I'm going to do an overarching card. These are my beautiful Herbal Astrology cards. And I'm going to do one right in the middle to bring it all together as a nice little cherry on the top of the cake. And let's just say this is just bringing it all together. Excuse me. After everything I've said, it's like, what is the overarching card here from this lovely Herbal Astrology deck? What is the actual, oh, there's one fell on the floor. That's got to be it, hasn't it? Let's go and see what we've got. Oh, interesting. Oh no, there's two here. So I just got to go with the two. Actually, I can just go with the one I actually saw. Let's go with that. Okay, so what we have here is cacao. Lovely. I have some cacao downstairs. Evidently a really good source of B12. If that's not a good excuse to consume it, what is? So cacao, here we have initiation, and oh my goodness, I really think 2025 is an initiation journey in itself. This card relates to spiritual tests, initiations, the connection to the cosmic heart, divine love, you know, that kind of, you know, like all the old initiation tests were about putting everything that initiates had learned to the test. And that was their spiritual gifts, their emotional gifts, their magical gifts, even their physical gifts. So I think that's a perfect card for this reading, because with the astrology and this, yes, there are tests, yes, there are conflicts, yes, there's new beginnings, new germination. There's a lovely these messages of just keep on doing what you're doing it really well, recognize what you're doing, face your fears, know that this in January, know that there's a new dawn, there's an end of a cycle, and this beautiful temperance card. And I actually really love the Ace of Swords as well. It's such a strong card of speaking a mind and just feeling the courage. So yes, that card of initiation and is just perfect to just kind of bring it all together. This year is about being tested, and it can be being tested in a really nice way. You know, it can be just saying to you, accept what you are. You know, don't make any excuses for what you are. Just keep doing what you're doing. You know, face yourself in the most beautiful way. Talk to yourself kindly, and by the end of the year, you might have surprised yourself with your abilities, your creativity, your love, your kindness, and your compassion. And I really do hope you have a very, very revealing, wonderful, illuminating 2025, and manage to take all this in and tread lightly through all of this beautiful path on earth. So thank you again so much for watching, and I'll be back soon.